Hey YouTube, this is Mashida Mooney back with another video, and today we'll be talking about Nofap, semen retention, and Brahmacharya, and the differences between each one and the stages of evolution. So starting with Nofap, Nofap to me is the lowest vibration out of the three. Most people in Nofap are primarily concerned with stopping porn addiction and stopping the masturbation addiction. And so for some, this is coming from a point of like hate towards those addictions, hate towards pornography. It's caught up in like resisting like the organization of pornography and like the idea of masturbation. It's very antagonistic. And to go even more into detail, it's more concerned, the streaks is more concerned with the physical abilities and physical powers gained, as well as using Nofap to sleep with more women, using Nofap as a means to have more sex, to become popular with women of the opposite sex. And so, to me, that's where the biggest detriment to Nofap is that you're still releasing your sex force just through the act of sex itself. And so, like, you're building up your sex force just to go waste it on another person of the opposite sex, another gender, instead of preserving that sex force and raising it, letting it empower all aspects of life. And then this is where we move into semen retention. Semen retention is that next step where you begin to see maybe not even wasteful sex is worth my time. Maybe stricter celibacy is required. And so these people who start to practice semen retention start to see that it's not so much about shrieks and magnetism and gaining more attraction for the opposite sex and increasing the count for yourself. It's really about the deeper side of semen retention, the deeper side of conserving that sex force. And that is self-improvement, self-mastery, self-growth. And so these individuals begin to evolve physically, mentally, and spiritually. They begin to see that they begin to rise above like this very base, like quote unquote alpha male mentality where you got to be the biggest man in the group. They start to rise above that. It's not about being the biggest man. It's about being the most spiritually evolved person, helping the other fellow brothers in this world, brothers and sisters. And so these people in semen retention are starting to see the bigger picture, but some get caught in the trappings of the physical benefits gained thereof, meaning like increased focus and all these very positive things, focus, mental clarity, more energy, needing less sleep, but they stop there. Some go towards a spiritual approach, but most just stop there and just relish in all the fruits they have gained from this practice. But no, there's a deeper side, deeper than even the semen retention, and that is Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya essentially can be translated into Brahma means God. Charya is like practice, routine, or like a path or a way of doing something. And so Brahmacharya refers to essentially the path of God, the routine, the practice of God. Now let's let that sink in for a minute. Brahmacharya is the practice of God. What can be higher than that? What can be higher than God? And so with Brahmacharya, one sees the sex force can be drained with thoughts, actions, and word. So like thinking about sex wastes the sex force. Having sex without the purpose of conception is wasting sex force. Speaking about sex is wasting the sex force. So all these things are huge. It's not just about the action, it's the words and the thoughts. They have an integral part when changing our consciousness, when changing our habits. Because like word and action is like the outward manifestation of your thoughts. So if you fix what's inside, your outside will automatically be changed to fit that inner vibration. So with Brahmacharya, it encompasses more than just conserving the sex force. It's also about general self-control in all things, being even-minded under all circumstances. But the primary concern with Brahmacharya is the conservation of the sex force, because that is the essence of our beings. Out of 40 drops of blood, one semen is produced. One semen cell is produced. And when we start to retain the sex force, we begin to take back our essence. We begin to nourish our bodies, minds, and souls with this sex force, the life force, our vitality itself. So realize that by wasting your sex force, you are draining your vitality, literally your vitality, your essence. It is what sustains this being in a physical manifestation. Without the sex force, you have no power, you have no outer magnetism, you have no divine magnetism. Your words do not carry that power. Your body, your skin, your hair starts to lose its vitality, its luster. All of these things can be contributed to the conservation of the sex force, our vitality, our essence. So now taking a step back to Nofap, Semenretention, and Brahmacharya, you want to let go of the Nofap very like physical mindset. Just let go of all of that. All of that is of a lower vibration, because it's pointless to conserve, to stop masturbating and watching porn just so you have more sex. Like, that makes zero sense. You build up your energy just to go release it out to no purpose. Like, why do that? Semen retention, there's more to semen, there's more to stopping sex than just those physical benefits. There is a whole spiritual side to it. So raise up and take that next step. Begin auxiliary practices to help transmute this sexual energy. That's the biggest thing, is transmutation. Transmutation and habits. Habits will help us stop the bad habits we don't want. Because essentially it's like this: when we have a habit, and we have a couple bad habits. Once we start doing these bad habits, it becomes like a snowball effect, and we increase more and more bad habits. But let's say we replace one bad habit with a good habit. It also starts to create a snowball effect and starts to build up more and more power. You change one thing in life, and like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I should change my diet. And you find out, oh, changing my diet wasn't so hard. Maybe I should start exercising more. Maybe I should start meditating more. And before you know it, all of your bad habits have started to just fall away. You don't have to put energy towards it. It just falls away naturally. It can't remain. Darkness cannot remain where there is light. And so, as I say again and again, Brahmacharya is the highest path. So for all of you guys, focus on that. And this applies to men and women. They both will achieve great benefits and great spiritual strength through the conservation of their essence, their sex force. I will make future videos going into more detail about Brahmacharya, but I just felt inclined. I just felt like I had to speak on the Nofap, Semenretention, and Brahmacharya, because it just feels that the Nofap guys are just stuck fighting their enemies and not rising above their enemies. The Semenretention guys are just, they think that that's all, like all there is. And Brahmacharya, for all of you guys who are practicing that, blessings to you and have a wonderful day.